Fue bautizado con el apodo del Rey del Caribe por el propio Snoop Dogg, Cruz Rock. Esta experiencia para ti de hacer un álbum en Spanglish.
Even though when I speak Spanish,
Right.
it's not perfect, the color of your skin and the texture of your hair doesn't really tell the history.
¿Qué fue lo que pasó en NBC American Song?
When I jumped on the stage, it was like, this is why we got to build a border around America. Right now I have like a fight with the whole government. And now we have like this annual like Latin night that we do. And then they canceled the Latin night. They didn't want me to be an ambassador because I was Latino.
Cruz Rock, are you the reincarnation
I
of
don't
Bob
know,
Marley?
man. I have no idea, yo.
Yo tengo entendido que tienes una situación con Errol, que es el manager del Alfa.
Muchos años me roban mucho.
Tú le pagaste $7,000 a Amara La Negra para que ella colaborara contigo en una canción.
Sí, claro.
Your message to Amara La Negra.
You know, if you're not going to do it, just be real. You know, if they're spending their money and all you got to do is just show up, why you got to make it such a problem? Tan loco.
Bueno, mi siguiente invitado quizás lo has visto en el reality show de NBC American Song. Recibió ahí, fue bautizado con el apodo del Rey del Caribe por el propio Snoop Dogg y Kelly Clarkson también con nosotros. Cruz Rock in the house. What is going on, Cruz? Welcome. How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good. Happy.
Pero
contento
bien.
porque ahora estás lanzando ahora un álbum completamente en español, Cultura.
Yeah. Well, it's a mix. Es una mezcla de las culturas del Caribe.
Igual que eres tú, porque tú eres una mezcla de tu papá es puertorriqueño y tu mamá es de Trinidad.
Yeah, that's right.
¿Y tú
That's
naciste dónde?
right. De las Islas Vírgenes, the Virgin
Okay.
Islands, yeah.
Y eres virgen todavía. Qué interesante.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, really? Oh,
Somewhat.
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Are you really?
No, I'm not.
Oh, God, you never know. You never know. I saw a study, vi un estudio el otro día que decía, tú sabes, que bueno, que muchos hombres en particular están esperando a perder su virginidad como hasta los 20 y pico años. Could you imagine having to wait off
My God.
for to be in your early 20s or mid 20s before you lose your virginity?
Especially if you're living in Miami, it'll be like
Impossible.
impossible, yo.
Casi imposible porque
Whoa.
Miami es bien caliente.
Head would explode.
Which one?
Which one?
Oye, eres conocido por canciones como Be Mine, Toa Toa, Melodía.
Yeah.
Porque eso, qué interesante. ¿Fue difícil para ti hacer este álbum? No es totalmente en español, es un Spanglish, es una mezcla.
Yeah. Es una mezcla. Sí, un poco difícil. I took about 3 años para crear todo. Because I just wanted it to be like super great. Y también yo tengo una canción con el rey de dancehall, Beenie Man.
Beenie Man.
Yeah. It's all about Rome.
How old is Beenie Man right now?
Beenie Man is like 48.
40, es una leyenda.
Yeah. Probably maybe 48, 49. I think yesterday was his birthday.
Happy birthday, Beenie Man.
Yeah, happy birthday, Beenie.
Much love from the
Yeah.
Enrique Santos Show and all of us here at iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
¿Qué tal poder trabajar y hacer una canción junto con la leyenda?
Yeah, you know what was crazy about that? It was in the pandemic, right? So like when we were supposed to shoot the video, so the crazy thing, two crazy things.
Grabaron la canción con máscara y vaina.
Claro. Claro. When it was time to shoot the video, my nephew was murdered, right?
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he was murdered in North Carolina, and I had like this guilt about like filming the video. And then when I kind of like sucked it up to kind of do it, his mom died, Beenie Man. Beenie Man's mom died. And then when I had to go to Jamaica, like they had all these restrictions, and then I had to kind of like, quote unquote, kind of break some rules. I wasn't supposed to shoot the video.
Okay.
According to the government there. And we were just like, man.
Oh, because of the COVID restrictions.
Can we curse on here?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
I was like, yo, fuck that, man. I'm going to shoot this video. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Jamaica. This is Beenie Man.
Yeah.
We're going to get crunk. And then
It's like a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, and then we did it, and he was like, it kind of like, you could see that his spirits lifted up. And we got the video done, and the video was crazy. Yeah, so that was like my first introduction, because we remade the buyout rhythm for Tony Kelly, and it was just like a crazy recreation. I think the song would have been super bigger if I just had that machine behind of it, but it was so hard to promote it with the pandemic because we didn't get to really perform together, you know? So that kind of like slowed everything down. You know what I'm saying?
How about now? Ya en esta etapa estás planificando hacer algún tipo de actuación junto con él? Are you planning to do some type of performance, of course, with him now that that thing called pandemic is behind us?
So the other crazy thing about it was that él, cuando hacía la canción, he was like in a time where he was kind of in a transition, and I guess people kind of like they weren't listening to him as his new stuff, you know. And then he did the verses, right, with Bounty Killer and Swiss Beats. And then like in between that time, that's when he blew up. So now it's like even harder to kind of get to Beenie Man. Porque está en muchos giras en el mundo. Pero yo creo que right now is my moment, man. So I'm hoping we get to go on the stage
That's
together.
really cool. Oye, estoy curioso. No he visto el video todavía. Lo voy a ver. Pero mientras tanto,
Sí.
hey Siri, how does Beenie Man look today? Tiene 48 años Beenie Man. Quiero saber cómo luce
Yeah,
hoy en
yeah.
día. You know what I mean? Oh, he's on the gram too. Oh, he's on Twitter.
He's on.
I'm sorry. It's not called Twitter anymore. He's on X.
He's on X, yo.
He's on X.
Yo, tell Elon Musk he's stealing my X, man.
Oh, man, yes, because tu álbum nuevo está en Spanglish
Yeah.
es cultura, pero con X.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Beenie Man, bro, he's got good hair, man.
Yeah, yo.
What's up? Is that actually his or eso es una peluca que tiene ahí arriba?
Well, I don't know. I
It
think.
looks really cool.
Well, I think I'm not gonna say anything. Beanie's my guy. He's my guy,
Yo.
man. So Beanie, he's getting older,
Respect.
but he still looks young.
He
man.
looks fantastic.
Parece
He don't look
muy joven.
48. He looks 38.
Yeah, he looks super young, man.
Yeah,
And he's still getting all the girls too. The
Really?
girl them sugar. Big up to Beanie.
Sigue siendo mujeriego.
Yeah,
Cool stuff.
yeah, man.
So, esta experiencia para ti de hacer un álbum en Spanglish, ¿sientes que estás bajo mucha presión de que la gente te obliguen a hablar español? Porque no es tu idioma. Tú hablas patuá, criol, inglés,
Inglés, sí.
te comunicas en español.
Sí, claro. Claro. En mi familia también tiene muchos hindus. They speak
¿en
they
serio?
speak Hindu, yeah. So a lot of my family is from Punjabi, from my mom's side. Pero sí, yo estoy multicultural. Y eso es porque cuando yo hacer el show con Snoop Dogg, American Song Contest, y Kelly Clarkson, cuando hace mi espectacular en ese show,
Ujú.
él dice, wow, él cantar como latinos y jamaicans. Es loco. Porque a lot of people try it, right? But it comes off, like when we hear it in the Caribbean, it's like, they're trying to sound like us. And then I guess in the Latin world, you know, they'd be like, oh, that's cool. But we're like, it's trying to sound like us, but it doesn't sound right. So I guess when people hear me, it's like, how is he doing that? He's singing in both. Even though when I speak Spanish,
Right.
it's not perfect, no es perfecto, pero when I sing it, I could convince you that, yo, like Selena, one of these celebrities that didn't really know how to speak too much Spanish, when they sing, I think Becky G is like that too.
También.
Yeah. So
Yeah, Becky G's Spanish is not perfect.
No, it's
but when
not.
she's speaking, when she's singing, it's a beautiful, perfect Spanish.
yeah.
And I get it. But I think what you're trying to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, is when you have the culture and it runs in your blood, and because all our cultures and Caribbean cultures are all mixed together, and they all come from the motherland, from Africa, right? Whether it be Afro-Cuban or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. But it's all mixed. The cultures. It's
It's,
very, very similar. Tú puedes escuchar
yeah.
una canción, you can hear a calypso, and you can hear a lot of
Yeah.
Latin beats, and you hear, for example, a lot of music, Haitian music,
Yeah.
and you might think it's a merengue.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, it's all very similar.
Yes.
I think people create such an they try to separate everyone and like create these categories, but the color of your skin and the texture of your hair doesn't really tell the history and the lineage of where you came from. Because if you really look at like Cubans or Puerto Ricans, if you really look up your history, la historia de tu familia, you see like tú tienes afro, porque mi familia tiene afro de los Congos. So when they had the slave trade, the people from the Congos came over. So now we got the Spaniards, the people from the Congos, you got the Tainos, you know, and then my mom is from Trinidad, so I got family from Punjabi, from, you know, South Asia. So I think it's my mission right now, besides creating beautiful music and this mixture, is to really show people like, we're not that different, man.
We aren't.
No, and if you use language barriers, you use colors of our skin to say, oh, well, you're white and I'm black. And it's like, no, like we're almost the same. You could have an albino, right? You could have two very dark-skinned people that could create an albino person. So that like logic, I think that's one of my missions as a person, is to kind of create that, you know, that unification.
Well, I
between
congratulate you for that. Te
Thank you.
felicito por eso, porque y parece mentira que en el año 2023 todavía estamos hay que justificar y tener y explicar este tipo de
Claro.
mezcla
Sí, sí, sí.
de seres humanos de diferentes países y todos venimos del mismo freaking planeta.
Claro.
Óyeme, ¿qué ha pasado? ¿Qué fue lo que pasó en NBC American Song? Eso fue una primera temporada. Regresa a este show. Yo he escuchado, y no sé si estás dispuesto o si puedes hablar de eso,
Yeah.
pero he escuchado que habían problemas dentro de la producción o acusaciones hasta de racismo.
No, well, I can't really speak about the production of it on their contract, but I could tell you there was some friction, and it goes back to that same thing, porque it's como America is just like so separated, so segregated right now. Y in a show, it was supposed to be all about like, you know, unification, paz, y ya tú sabes, todo gente in America es juntos, y, you know, we're together. But then, like, when I jumped on the stage, it was like, this is why we got to build a border around America. Look at this shit. What the fuck is this? And I was like, yo.
And that was your firsthand experience because you participated in the show.
Yeah, so like growing up in the Virgin Islands, we have a mixture, and I have a lot of problems there too with race because they're fighting me as a Latino. So right now I have like a fight with the whole government.
Why?
Because they think that it's predominantly Afro-based, but the island before was the indigenous people were Tainos, and those were my family, es mi sangre, es Tainos. Y la gente por allá dice que no, because we had like the slave rebellion and everything, so everybody kind of mixed up, right?
But what does that have to do with you right now in 2023
that's what I'm saying.
as a musician?
So they canceled me off a bunch of shows after I did the American Song Contest.
Really?
Yeah, so I had like this big fight, and then like one day I was like sitting in my living room, I'm hearing gunshots outside. My mom was like, yo, I believe they're trying to get at you, man. And I'm like,
people were shooting at you at your house?
no, I felt like shit was going on because I was sitting in my studio recording, and we had like this big fight, right? Luchando con el gobierno.
Right.
Y I'm like sitting in the living room, and I'm just hearing these, and I live in like a nice area, you know, and then I hear like pow, 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 pow. I'm like, yo, I'm ducking on the floor. I'm like, yo, what's going on? So I call my mom, and she's like, yo, I'm like, yo, I think people are like somebody's shooting outside of the house. So she automatically just like jumped up, and then I got it in my mind because now like I walk out in the street, and people are telling me like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have said this. You shouldn't have said that about the government. And I'm like, okay, but I'm Latino. I belong here too. Why can't I say you have an issue with me because you've been blocking me my whole life? And now we have like this annual like Latin night that we do. And then they canceled the Latin night because they saw how big I was getting and influential. So they were trying to like suppress me. You know what I'm saying? So it came out like years ago. I was supposed to like be this ambassador on the island for like, you know, for tourism and stuff. And it came out in the woodworks that they didn't want me to be an ambassador because I was Latino, and they felt like I didn't represent the Virgin Islands.
So is your new Spanglish album Cultura una protesta in response to this friction?
Yeah, but it's done in a way because I'm like in the islands they say I'm a gyalis, so I'm like a girls guy, you know what I'm saying? So before in my career, I used to sing like a lot of, you know, rebellious type of music. But then I realized like, and not to say that everything's about money, but I needed money to continue going. And the reggae music just wasn't making any money. So I had an issue in there too, because in the reggae movement, they saw me as a Latino and as an outsider. So like all my life, I've been dealing with this, like, you're an outsider. You're an outsider. You don't belong here. You don't have locks. You know, the color of your skin is not what it's supposed to be, you know, and it's like, yo, like, and then you come into the Latin world and they're like, oh, but tu español no es bueno, okay? And you're not fully Latino, you know, so we can't really fuck with you like that.
So me llama la atención porque Pitbull pasó por algo muy similar.
Sí.
Tekashi 6ix9ine was here a couple months ago,
Claro.
and he's now, you know, I say the crossover, but now it's a reverse crossover, right?
Yeah.
Now trying to get into, and very similar to what you're going through now.
Yeah, claro.
Y lo que estabas describiendo ahorita también, I think we make a mistake, and I've always said it. Good music has no language, really.
No, it
and shouldn't have boundaries.
No, it shouldn't.
I hear a song, and it can be an Italian song.
Yeah.
And si te llega al corazón, te toca, if it sparks, you know, some type of emotion.
Yeah.
Kenny Rogers said it.
Yeah.
Great country singer, rest his soul. If I want to quote him, I might misquote him, but I remember him saying something to the effect that music should do one of three things.
Yeah.
Make you cry, make you laugh, or make you think.
That's right. That's right, man. And you know, Bob Marley had that same fight, man. You know, I don't know. I think, I don't know if you believe in reincarnation.
Man, at this point, every day I believe something different, you know, and I'm always questioning. And I think that's okay. It's part of the big mystery of life. Right?
Yeah.
Nobody has the 100% truth because none of us have truly died and come back and say, hey, I saw the man.
Yeah.
Or I saw what happens afterwards. I know what happens at the, there is a pearly gate there, or there is not, or,
Yeah.
or I'm coming back now as a blue beetle, or I don't know.
So what's crazy is when when I was going to school and to college, I'm an artist, right? I like a painter.
Right. I'm sorry, do you believe in reincarnation? Or you?
To this point, I believe so.
What were you in the past life?
I feel, and it might sound crazy, man.
Go.
So I'm going to explain it first before I say it because
Okay.
it's going to sound too crazy. So when I was in college, I had this friend, her name was Nurulaine. She was from South Africa. And her mom was like very intuitive. She was a psychic, right? So one day we had
In Latinos, we call that, or here in Hialeah, we call that a bruja.
But not Cleo, not Miss Cleo.
Not
though.
Miss Cleo. Oh, I missed Miss Cleo. Yeah, man, call me now, man.
Yeah.
Miss Cleo, what happened? Whatever happened to Miss Cleo?
That's crazy.
I'm sorry to interrupt you again, but hold on. Hey, Siri, where is Miss Cleo today? This is my best friend, Siri.
Here's what I found.
What'd you find? Oh, okay, Miss Cleo. The Wikipedia came up. Did she pass away?
What? Stop playing.
What? Man, yes.
Damn.
She was an American. She passed away in 2016, Miss Cleo.
What?
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Miss
Miss
Cleo.
Cleo,
man.
if reincarnation does exist, what do you think Miss Cleo has reincarnated as?
Oh my God.
A tarot card. No, it has to be something live. No. Rest in peace, Miss Cleo. I'm sorry I interrupted you because you're saying you were a painter and then you were talking about your friend.
Yeah, so we had an art gallery.
Right.
And she saw me, and I had a friend that I used to be like in a rap group when I was in college.
Okay.
I've been all over the place, man.
I see that.
Yeah. So she stopped me and my friend, and she was like, yo, and she didn't know me from Adams, right? So she's like, you have like a powerful energy, right? And I was like, okay. I'm a kid, so I don't know anything about this stuff. And she's like, wow, I see a lot of great things in your future. And I'm like, okay, cool. But she wasn't talking to my friend. She was just talking to me. And we were both doing music. And she was like, you're going to be great. She's like, I said, like, what do you mean great? She's like, you're going to be like big.
She's basically telling you your
Powerful.
rap sucked at that moment, but in
Yeah,
the future,
yeah,
you're going
right?
to get better at it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I was thinking the same thing. Like, man, I gotta
What about now? It's the
You know what I'm saying? So she told me your ancestor is Yusef. She said your past life, your name was Yusef. And I was like, Yusef. She meant like past life. She was talking about like my ancestors.
Wow.
And then she was like, you gotta call upon your ancestors, whenever you get lost. Anyway, that day when I left, remember, she never spoke to my friend, right? And she looked at him at one moment in the conversation, and he asked, what about me? And she ignored him. She was like, I'm not. She had something. She saw something. She didn't want to say it. Like the look.
Okay.
He ended up dying.
Oh my God.
Like 3 years after.
You think she saw it at that moment and
I
just
think
didn't
she
share
saw
the
it, yo.
information?
Yeah, I think she saw it. And he always had like problems with like, he always said like, oh man, I'm suffering from these demons and I got like these issues. And he died in a really messed up way. Like I think he, rest in peace, man, Ness. And he fell down like some stairs at a show and he ended up dying at that event. Anyways, like years later now, the Bob Marley thing came out, the Bob Marley documentary came out, and his daughter said, I believe my father was reincarnated and he was once Yusef. Yeah, from the Bible. Which was crazy. And it blew my mind because I was like, yo. So I did
And they told you to say that you came from Yusuf as well.
and they said the same thing. Like you was once. She said, like, call upon your ancestors, and I see a man named Yusef.
Cruz Rock, are you the reincarnation
I don't
of Bob
know,
Marley?
man. I have no idea, yo.
Are you the reincarnation?
But I get like these feelings, man. And I once did a song with this guy named Vaughn Benjamin,
Okay.
who's like I don't know if you guys know Midnight Band. Midnight Band is like Vaughn is actually, they always said Vaughn is like the new Bob Marley, but he passed away too, right? So me and Vaughn did a video, and I had like this crazy vision. Like if you ever saw the video for, it's called In the Spirit.
Okay.
So Vaughn has never done a song. He's like super prophetic, like prophet. People faint when he goes to Brazil. He goes to these places. He has murals in France. He's like seen as this prophet after Bob Marley. And he did this song with me, and people were blown like, why did you do a song with Cruz Rock? Like, he doesn't do, like I used to do reggae, but
Right.
I would do dancehall too. So I wasn't like this like super
Known reggae guy.
Yeah. And when he did the song with me, he did it and he said, I see something in you. And I'm gonna do the song. And then I got this vision to do this video. And in the video, we're like in this afterlife. And then he's kind of like he's like this spiritual being in the afterlife. And I'm like the person that's in between, in the middle, in the medio. And I'm bringing him this young guy that passed away, that got killed. And I'm like bringing him. I always had like these crazy visions, man.
Yeah, let's make money off this.
Man, I'm telling you.
We
man.
have psychic readings with Cruz Rock on the show now. 844 yes Enrique. Caller 4 has a free psychic reading by Cruz Rock. Let's go to the phone lines and see who we have here today. Hello, good morning. You're on the Enrique Santos show with Cruz Rock.
Hi, Cruz. This is Carmen calling. How are you?
What's up, Carmen? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Listen here, baby.
Yeah.
So I've been having some problems with my husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was wondering if you see anything, if you feel any type of way, or energy or something, if you think my husband maybe have some other woman's in the apartment complex where we live.
First of all, black men don't cheat. And if he's a black man, he does not cheat.
Oh, please.
If he's Puerto Rican, he definitely does not cheat.
I think you're full of shit. You sound like Charlemagne the God from the Breakfast Club talking about black men don't cheat.
What you want me to say, man? I'm trying to defend us out here.
Cruz Rock. El nuevo álbum de Cruz Rock, El Rey de Caribe, como le puso Snoop Dogg y Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
Esto lo puedes escuchar en todas las plataformas digitales, su nuevo álbum en Spanglish que se llama Cultura, incluye una canción también con nuestra amiga Amara La Negra. Anybody else in there in Cultura, in the album that you want to talk about?
Yeah, so I got Cardi B's sister.
Oh, Nikki.
Nikki.
That's our friend here too. That's my homegirl.
Yeah. So she's on the album. We got a really nice like dembow crossover, kind of club banger. And it's crazy, man. I'm like switching back and forth with the Spanish and the dancehall, and then it's like hitting like a dembow. So it's called Chapa Boom Boom. Chapa Boom Boom. Chapa Boom Boom. Yeah, it's crazy.
Really cool, man.
Yeah,
Oye,
love it.
Felicidades. Thanks for showing love to, well, I was going to say our culture, tu cultura también. Cruz, so tengo entendido que tienes una situación con Eori Mato, que es el manager del Alfa.
Yeah.
¿Qué pasó?
Entonces, como un año antes, like when I got off of the American Song Contest, yo hablo con un amigo mío en República Dominicana y él dice, yo conozco Yori y él es el manager de el Alfa y la materialista. And I was like, oh man, like that would be so great. And like he met with him and he said, ¿tú quieres hacer una canción con el Alfa? I'm like, yeah, I'll do a song with el Alfa. And I'm like, I know it will cost a lot. So he's like, we'll work with you because you was just on TV. Estaba en la televisión y tú tienes ahora muchos fans y, envíame dinero. And I was like, okay, so let's do like a contract. And no puedo crear un contrato. Y dice que, yeah, I'll do the contract, but send me the money first and I'll pay the lawyer. And I'm like, okay, yeah, like, that sounds kind of fishy, man. He's like, well, we charge a lot more. And I'm like, okay.
How much money are we talking about?
So I'm like a deposit of like, in all, like I paid about $3,000, about $3,000.
So tú le diste $3,000 a Ori.
Yeah. But it first started off like small increments.
Right.
And then like the contract never came. And then I was like, yo, like where's the contract? So then like months passed and then we come back again and then he kept saying like, yeah, no, we want to do it. So then one day we were like, so what happened to the beat? Because Chael was supposed to make the beat, right? Chael dice que él va a crear
la canción, no, sí.
Y I was like, okay, so where's it at? Oh man, we had a concert here. We left the hard drive in the car and somebody robbed it. somebody robbed the hard drive, man, from the car. And then I'm like, yo, so months passed again. And I'm like, okay, fuck it. Just give me a song with La Materialista because I'm trying to finish this album. And he asked for more money again. I was like, yo, like, come on, man. Like, and this
Did
is
you pay him again?
No, I didn't. No. I sent money for another lawyer to create, and that's how the money started to rack up.
Right.
And then like I saw him at the red carpet at the Los Premios Juventud in La Fombre. And then he saw me, he was like, whoa, like he made it here. Like never thought I was gonna make it there. And then like I wanted to say something, but it was like, it's in the right place. Because if I say it and he says something stupid, then this might be my last time on this red carpet. You know what I'm saying? So, and then like, this hasn't been the first time. Like for years in my career, muchos años, me roban mucho. In Jamaica, a lot of producers have robbed my money in Jamaica. And yo creo que es porque yo tenía esa mezcla de música. And a lot of people are scared of it because they realize like, he doesn't need to have a Sean Paul on his song. And he doesn't need to really have El Alfa on his song because he could do the two of them, you know, and he could create a song
right.
that everybody kind of needs features to kind of create. And I think that is scaring the industry to a point where they think about it because a lot of times these producers, they promise stuff. I create a song because there's other producers too, right? I'm not going to call everybody's name, but there's producers.
A lot of shady people in this business.
It's a lot of shady people, and they're trying to stop that movement of this, you know, this mixture of what I bring to the table. You know?
So what do you want to happen now? You want to do the song with El Alfa o La Materialista,
course,
or you just want the money back?
I really want to do a song with El Alfa, La Materialista.
¿Cuál es tu mensaje para Eury Mato, el manager del Alfa y de La Materialista?
Yo, si es real, right? Si es real, hacerlo. Yo creo que es mucho dinero para hacer una canción con El Alfa.
¿Tú crees que pagar $3,000 para hacer una canción con El Alfa es demasiado?
Yeah, but it was a deposit.
Un depósito.
Sí, un depósito.
En total iba a ser ¿cuánto?
Como en total, no sé. Porque él dice, me va a poner Mike Towers in the song too. You know, send me $1,000 so I could give Mike Towers because he's coming to the studio. Like, come on, man. You know Mike Towers wasn't there, man. You know what I'm saying? But you're playing on like young artists and taking their money. But El Alfa's driving around in a Bugatti. Like, what you gotta...
So tu mensaje para Eury?
Eury, hacerlo. Si no vas a hacerlo, ok, pero sí, hacerlo, ok? Envíame mi dinero.
$3,000 te debe.
$3,000. Pero no, the $3,000 doesn't even mean anything to me anymore because I've made so much money. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's the principle of it. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to say, we're going to work together and you want to be brothers and we're going to put the artists together to work, then let's do that. But don't play me, man. You know what I'm saying?
Quiero saber qué ha pasado con Amara La Negra, porque tengo entendido que ella cantó una canción contigo que aparece en Cultura, tu nuevo álbum en Spanglish. Pero Amara, ¿estás bien con Amara?
Yeah, well, the situation con Amara is crazy porque yo pagué como $6,000, $7,000 para hacer colaboración. Y
tú le pagaste $7,000 a Amara La Negra para que ella colaborara contigo en una canción.
Sí, claro. And the thing about it is that when we did it, yo hacerlo porque yo creo que she's a great celebrity, big celebrity.
Yeah.
Pero en la música, no. En la música, ella no tiene una canción que pega en radio. And I knew that it would be a financial loss if I didn't get the platforms. So when I spoke to her first manager from Love and Hip Hop, which is Julian Booth, Julian was like promising all these things, like we're gonna get you on Love and Hip Hop, you know, we're gonna do this, we're gonna work on getting you to you know, so like iHeartRadio and all these things, and you know, it didn't fall through, and then they were like, no, we can't promise that, but you know, we work with you. So we did a contract, and the contract clearly states, hey, you know, we're gonna do radio, we're gonna do TV. And even if I create the opportunities, it's no problem. Just show up. You know what I'm saying? So then she got pregnant. And then, you know, I said, okay, man, you know, the song was already done. I already shot the video. I was like 30,000 in the hole. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I need to recoup this money because I got other stuff to do. Yo soy independiente, no tiene un record label. And
todo lo estás financiando tú mismo de tu propio bolsillo.
Sí, es mío.
From your pocket.
Yeah, so now like she got pregnant like right in between when we were shooting the video. And then she told me, and I was like, damn. So I understood. So I was like, okay, man, I understand. So I gave her a little time, but songs don't have that much time. You know what I'm saying? So when I got off of the show, American Song Contest on NBC, I did a tour in Santo Domingo, and she was in Santo Domingo at the same time. So I was like, yo, can you please show up? And never answered back. Hit up the manager, never answered back. So that's one, like, you already like kind of breached the contract, because the contract says you got to give me you got to tell me what's up. You know what I'm saying? You can't just I'm not going. So I figured it's a problem. Tiene un problema. So I let it go for a little bit. And then now we're doing this media tour now. This is you got a whole year, you know what I'm saying, to kind of situate yourself, free up yourself. We're in Miami. You're in Miami with me. Why can't you show up to the shows? And then at the time, her manager was my manager at the same time, right? Because I ended up hooking up. And that was a complete mess, because that went 8 months and, nothing ever happened with it. And I figured that they were holding back because ella pensaba que the opportunities that, those opportunities of her is now mine. But it wasn't like that, because I was creating my own stuff.
You think Amara doesn't like the song, or maybe that's why she's not showing her love?
She likes the song. The song is a dope song. The video is dope. Like I said, I spent mad bread.
Why do you think she would not?
She wants money to come to the events. Ella quiere dinero para hacer los eventos, los programas, pero ella, in the contract, so I have the copyright, but in the contract it says she has 10% of the master, right? And I only gave that because we agreed that she would help me to become a bigger celebrity.
Your message to Amara La Negra.
Amara, hacerlo. Hacerlo, por favor. I mean, come on, man. I spent money, todo mi dinero en el proyecto, y ahora mucha gente quiere escuchar la canción en vivo. They want to see us together performing. So, if you're not going to do it, just be real. Don't ask for money to come to an event when you're making money off of the song. You're getting 10% of the master when I did all of the work, put all of the money into it, which is unheard of. You know what I'm saying? So just work with me, man. Everybody's just they're all about themselves, and they don't understand when someone reaches out to you and they want to work with you, that's a blessing. If they're spending their money and all you got to do is just show up. Just show up. It's in your city. You're here. Why you got to make it such a problem? And it's just crazy, man. Tan loco.
De donde salió lo que acabas de ver, hay mucho más. Suscríbete, dale like y déjame tus comentarios también. Es gratis.